This was absolutely the most toe-destroying challenge ever. As long as the planks stayed balanced on their heads, the winner would walk away with $600,000. However, the planks had been adjusted to match each contestant's height, so there was no unfair advantage. Thus, the game was completely fair. Although the rules seemed simple, I bet you couldn't last 5 minutes. If you don't believe it, just try standing on your tiptoes at home. At first, the contestants looked full of confidence. In fact, some of the men were already planning how to spend their winnings. Yet only moments later, the bald man lost his plank and became the very first elimination. Clearly, he was much weaker than expected. No sooner had he stepped off the field than 2 more men followed him out. 2 minutes later, the woman in blue began trembling uncontrollably. Suddenly, with just one twitch of her leg, her plank slipped down before she even realized it. She walked off in frustration. Then, the man in gray was also eliminated. Meanwhile, the blazing sun was burning everyone's skin, and mosquitoes were biting furiously. Nevertheless, no one else seemed willing to give up. Soon after, the woman in yellow could no longer endure and dropped out. At the same time, the man in the red cap was eliminated as well. In the blink of an eye, only 1 man and 3 women remained. But then, the sole man suddenly shuddered. His calf cramped up, and his plank fell instantly. Now only 3 women were left. At this point, Anna closed her eyes calmly, looking as if the challenge were effortless. Meanwhile, Jenny appeared equally determined, whereas Mary's face had turned red under the scorching sun, her lips growing dry and pale. The host noticed and warned her to give up for her safety, yet Mary stubbornly refused. Moments later, she collapsed from heat stroke. Luckily, medical staff rushed in and confirmed she was only suffering from exhaustion. Thus, the final duel came down to Anna and Jenny. Everyone assumed Anna's serenity meant victory was hers, but suddenly her body trembled ever so slightly, and her plank slipped away. In the end, Jenny claimed the championship. When they finally stepped down, neither of them could feel their legs anymore. So, if it were you, how long could you last?